Oh, I guess there's a few people who either haven't seen it before or haven't seen it in a while. Yes, Marlon Prudencio uses a Lego rack for his tiles.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, I haven't played Marlon in a few years. I think we played at Alchemist Cup in 2018 because I was on the U.S. team and he played for Singapore. But yeah, I haven't seen that Lego rack in about 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Forgot about that.
There's all these amazing little tiny quirks and nuances and singularities that we have with so many of our lovely players.
I also just love the outfit. Does he have a branded hat with the MP logo on it? Is that the Marlon Prudencio logo?
I think so.
That is sick.
And to open up this game here, we have Flatted.
Opening bingo. You love to see it.
Yeah, solid start.
80-0. Marlon's on the board.
And have viewers, or over lush more specifically, is what Alex Shihom. I probably said your last name wrong. I'm so sorry, Alec. Please correct me. I know I said it wrong. Over lush.
Oh, nice. Over lush. What a start to this game. Whew. Bingos are flying. Notable that Overlush was not the only bingo playable because Have Hours through the A was also available. But obviously Overlush is far better.
We like points. Yeah, lots and lots of points.
38 points more.
An excellent strategy in general is to score more points.
Yeah. And Marlon draws the blank.
Marlon is taking the same strategy, which is to challenge Overlush. It's probably not a successful one from the sounds of it.
Yeah, Overlush is good, so +5 makes it 111 to 80. Nice start for David Whitley. All right, so some candidate moves from Marlon here on move number 2. You can play Boney or Coney up top, making Yo. Each one of those are 34 points. Ooh, you can also play Scooby through the O. I'm not saying that's the best play, but it's fun.
Speaking of which, there's a little bit of leftover snacks from lunch where there's a couple of the DoubleTree cookies, which are the closest thing to Scooby snacks we have in this room. So I might have to go and grab a Scooby snack.
Nice.
Might abandon you for just a few seconds here while I get my Scooby snack. I'll be right back.
All right, Scooby, do it up.
Oh, I love the definition of Scooby before I go. A clue, as in the phrase, I don't have a Scooby-Doo. Who do you know that says I don't have a Scooby-Doo? I have never heard this in my life.
Chris Life. That's who I know who says this.
He says I don't have a Scooby-Doo. Really?
Yeah, I think it's like a Cockney rhyming slang thing.
Really?
And
wow.
Of course, Chris is weird like that. So.
Yeah, look at that. Rebecca typed that right on cue. Wow, very impressive. Okay, I'm going to go get my Scooby snack. I'll be right back.
Is this like a courtesy draw happening? What's going on? We still don't see any tiles on Whitley's rack. I guess they're recounting the score of David's bingo.
I have played Scrabble before.
David's looking away as if to like get a second opinion on how many points his bingo is. Okay, they've decided that it is 111 to 80. Yeah, to the person in chat asking about 106. It was 106, and then with the challenge, there's +5. So 111 is the total score for Whitley. All right, so after a dramatic pause, we're going to see what 7 tiles David Whitley draws. The suspense is killing me at this point. All right, so Marlon taking his time here and thinking about his options. It sounds like we got a little bit of a difficulty with Sam, who's trying to get his Wi-Fi speed fixed, but we'll try to get him back as soon as we can. But in the meantime, Jesse will just we'll keep it afloat, the two of us. And
All right. We'll do our best.
I was just talking about how I think Boney and Coney are two of the more obvious plays for Marlon here. Just up top, making yo. Either one of those would be 34. I'm not really seeing much better than that.
Okay. So it looks like some confusion regarding challenge and exchange and possibly drawing out of order. Technically, from what I recall, you are perfectly capable of drawing out of order. It's generally like a faux pas as far as like a cultural thing, but you're not technically penalized for drawing out of order. I've seen none of the rest of the context, but
Right.
that's my thoughts without having seen everything that happened. These things that happen when I leave to go get a Scooby snack.
Oh, there's a question in chat of what was the phony played by Jesse against Sammy. That would be pluked. Yeah, you guys got it in chat.
And also Nubial came down.
Nubial was the previous game.
Yeah,
That was Conrad Phony and Austin Shin, and he got away with that.
He did.
But I think it was a pity acceptance. Like, oh, you're losing by 100. You could have your phony.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris donates a lot. Mentioned Beyonce's. What's better than one Beyonce? Because we stan our queen. Two Beyonces.
Oh my gosh, Beyonce's is actually playable. Not a valid word, but it is playable with these styles.
Do we have any members of the Beehive in the chat? I'm definitely, I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore member of the Beehive, but definitely part of the Beehive.
Yeah, this is the kind of rack where obviously you and I know there's no bingo because we have computers and can look these things up. But if you're Marlon, it is not easy to be sure that you're not missing a bingo. There's all sorts of like low probability stuff that this like kind of sort of looks like.
Yeah, and like the sin words like SYN in particular, like you could have something odd like that. Anything ending in NY possibly that's a little bit more obscure, or sync like SYNC. There's some less typical
like a boy
combos.
word, like
That's true.
yeah, conboys. You could have some ridiculous alternate spelling of baby chinos. Just all sorts of stuff. It's just you never know.
Anything is possible.
So yeah, Marlon taking quite a while here, but I think it's just you got to make sure there's no bingo, and then I think once you make sure of that, Boney looks pretty straightforward here. I guess you could play a shorter play like just buy if you think that CONS is like a really, really good leave. But I think it's worth just taking the points with Boney. I would be surprised to see anything but Boney here. Well, with Marlon, it could be a ridiculous phony that he mixes up. You just never know.
That's true.
But yeah, I think Boney's the best play.
Marlon was trying to talk about his phonying coming up at random in games, because from my understanding, it's more of a Ricky Purnomo kind of thing as far as like really random kind of ridiculous phonies that come up in certain games.
Jello-Mocha's in the chat says the options are Boney, Coney, or phony, which is a pretty good summation of what could happen here.
Very good.
Yeah, Jucko says that SC is a better leave than SB, and I would have to agree.
I would agree, yeah.
Yeah, Quackle's saying that it's about a 4-point mistake to play Coney here. So not a colossal error, but a little bit of an inaccuracy.
Coney 2012? Has it already been 10 years since that?
Apparently, according to math.
Wow. This is the valid Coney on a board. And all these different trends that have come and gone in the last decade.
Very nice play by David Whitley. He finds the best play of Ecurie through the C right away, and he slaps that down. Nicely done. So a good start for Whitley. Over to Lush for 111, including the challenge, and then a nice play of Ecurie to play through the vowels.
And I believe biphasic does work if there was an open A, right? The A
yeah,
is blocked.
biphasic is a word. Yeah, I think there might even be a 7 in this. It looks familiar.
Yeah, someone in the chat has mentioned Sib ship is good.
That's what I was trying to think of. That's the one, yeah.
That would mean, I would presume Sib ships must be a word.
Yep. I think it means the state of being siblings, right? Well, yeah, okay, kinship, like a family relationship. Yeah, so the best play here is just Sib ship in row number 2, right below Ecurie, because it triple doubles the B for maximum scoring. So Sib ship for 90 would be pretty awesome here. If you don't know or don't see the word Sib ship, you can also just play hip, because keeping BIS blank is pretty fantastic, and there is a way to play hip for 34 at the bottom. So it's not the end of the world if you don't know the bingo, but yeah, Sib ship for 90 would be pretty awesome. Marlon is playing the lesser scoring hip. I'm not sure why he would play that and not the one forming SH that scores 34. All right. Hip comes down, though, and it is back to the whips. Who's got himself a new tong. I guess he didn't like his old tong.
32.
And Matthew Tunnicliffe points out biochips was blocked after Ecurie.
And Ween for 32 is the best play possible, and David Whitley finds it. Flawless play so far from the whips.
Yeah. Am I back in the air?
Oh,
And, yeah.
we just heard a Sam voice that was kind of like slow and laggy, I think. He's like almost here quite...
Apologies, maybe my Wi-Fi does not have the bandwidth to stream fully over, or it could be my AirPods.
Oh, it's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. I think it was just laggy when you first got there, but then it's starting to straighten.
All right. Well, I want, hopefully I can make it in time for. Well, I was hoping he would play Whip for for his name of the Whips, but I guess he didn't hook that with. I don't know if he could have picked up another E for tween or something.
Unfortunate. All right, so Marlon, he almost has biochips, but not quite.
Be something like Bionics or Biotics.
Biopics, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, biopics,
Nice.
biotics, bionics. Yeah, those are all words. Also, bitcoins.
Ooh.
You think they'll delete that once it just crashes all the way to 0?
I mean, like, we've already seen one cryptocurrency completely cease to exist. That was Luna, I believe, was the one, if anyone's following that closely. So yeah, in theory, you could say goodbye, Bitcoin, if that were to crash as well. I don't think it ever will. Maybe the other ones, but I am not invested in Bitcoin whatsoever, nor do I endorse investing or selling any sort of cryptocurrency. That's my disclaimer here.
I like real money, but that's just me.
Yeah, I kind of like having money in my hands.
All right, looks like Marlon is going to play bio. We're going to need a blank check.
Yeah.
Bio something X.
We'll have our producer clarify whenever possible.
It's either a P, N, T, or phony.
Yeah, we have options.
All right.
Excellent. We have had clarification. It is a T as in taco, to quote our producer directly.
Unless he said P as in Paco. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding.
And I think, and I'm thinking like Eric Tran, he has a really fun pronunciation. He says taco.
Taco. Yeah.
Looks like we have feedback in the chat that you folks, so the plural, all of us, are breaking up, just for our producers to know.
I'm not sure what our producers are able to do about that, but
Just so that they're aware.
yeah.
Did you say 84?
Doing the best we can with the Wi-Fi at the Hilton Doubletree Naperville
Dash
Lyle
Lyle.
brand crossword game.
In the meantime, the Whips has drawn into a bingo rack, Agnation through
Ooh.
the I in Biotics.
Very nice. Yeah, that is the play. Very nice. 61 will be the score for Ag Nation. I imagine he'll be able to spot that one. We got ourselves a game here. Let me just update the score if I can get the Wi-Fi to allow that sort of action. The score should be Marlon 223 and then David 167.
Maybe some sort of religious term and agnate. Don't know what exactly it is, but I thought that might be the etymology.
Huh. Yeah,
or the topic.
Sisyphus as an agnate is a relative on the father's side. But agnation, oh yeah, same thing. Agnation is a relationship traced through the male line in your family.
Don't listen to me, everyone. I think the thank you, Scrabble Kitty, can define clearly much better than I can.
Verbelope suggests all the hotel guests are back in their room streaming movies, or maybe everyone's quackling for those who have finished their games of the day already. This is all very possible. HD Jens has pointed out, wait, the board rotates. Yes, if you're not familiar with the tournament Scrabble scene, there are custom boards that have been created by varying either vendors or people who just enjoy making them because, and these boards are often for sale at major events. Just because some of the features of these boards is, as you mentioned, they rotate. Another one is there's sort of a grid so the tiles don't fall off the board like they would in a standard Scrabble set where it's just flat.
And then the other innovation is the pro tiles that you can't actually feel the I guess the edges of the tiles the way that the standard Scrabble set you could feel like the blank tile is flat and the other tiles have the ridge. So these tiles are all unridged. Yeah, the Lazy Susan definitely a positive innovation in the by whoever came up with that decades ago.
27.
And looks out, pardon me, I can't even talk. Verbalo points out Latin root for lamb of God in reference to agnation. And I think about that in the French context. Agneau is the French word for lamb, so that makes sense to me. Cool, learned something new. So Goanna is going to be played alongside of Biotics.
Oh, sad. No agnation. Oh, is it Goanna and then QI right away?
Yeah, so QI was played relatively quickly by Marlon Prudencio, keeping Pafrig. And we're back on to David Whitley, who I believe may have exchanged. No, he did not. I'm sorry. I think our stream is potentially lagging.
Sorry, I left the room so I could ask the person on the piano to keep it down.
Okay, so Goanna was played.
So Goanna first, and then QI Pafrig.
Yeah.
All right.
QI was played.
Okay.
And then this is David Whitley's current round.
Got you. All right. So your score is being corrected. It should be 263 to 194 in favor of Marlon Prudencio. And what in the world is David going to do now?
It's funny.
Oh, Joanna is a piano. That's funny. The irony.
Looks like David. It looks mostly hopeless, but he does have vexed to the T and flatted, so that might be one way to sort of play through this this rack and try to get some points out of it.
Looks pretty good.
Alec has pointed out X/tax versus vexed as points of debate.
Oh, that's better. I didn't see a word starting with X to use that biotics spot.
Jeremy, it was declared a T as in taco for the blank in that word.
Marlon has arranged a classic Marlon phony on his rack. Fire gap. I'd say there's like a 30% chance he's just going to play it.
Mind the fire gap.
I guess it's lower than 30%, seeing as Farragut currently doesn't play. You would need to make a phony hook and a phony word.
I mean, that's keeping on theme. It's
Double your Marlon, double your fun.
yes.
So David is taking his time here. This is not the easiest turn. Yep, seeing more suggestions of Xed and Vexed. Yeah, those are the plays he's probably considering here.
And it looks like he's not going to go with X, he's going with verb, keeping T, X, and D.
Interesting. It does maybe make it easier for him to bingo for a bigger score next turn. Like now that that triple lane is open, it's kind of goofy, but maybe it's got its merits.
Bridget is asking about tav. Yes, so the word that's been played that verb hooks on is tav, and that would be a letter in the Hebrew alphabet, I believe is the definition.
It's funny though, because we were wondering whether it would be a P, N, or T. And it turns out it doesn't matter because nav, pav, and tav are all words.
Yes. Although they're hooks from here forward.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. There are hooks, so it does matter.
Yeah.
Although, wait, do they? No, they don't all take the same hooks because tave is not good and tava is good. Okay,
Yes.
never mind.
The hooks upon hooks in this case. Yeah.
Hooks on hooks
Definitely
on hooks on
different.
hooks.
Looks like Marlon might be considering Taba with fair or pig fair.
Or pig fair, yeah.
He has it lined up. I don't know that he'll actually. He probably won't go through with that.
Some people fear the beard, or as Chris just pointed out in the chat, some fear the pig.
Yeah, fear looks like a pretty strong choice to take out that triple and score 36.
There is the suggestion of fair and tava to play down alongside verb.
Yeah, very similar, 35. I guess fear opens the S hook, which you probably don't need to do when you're up by a bingo. So I guess fair is probably better for that reason. Grapeify is very creative. Another vote for fair in the chat. So Marlon taking his time here. You definitely don't want to open any bingos if you can help it. You are up by a bingo. Nice little 69-point lead.
Yeah, looks like it will be fair here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great play, I think.
QPR mentions keeping RK for work fair.
Ooh, work fair.
And that's an answer to the earlier question about will we see a front extension of fair in the remainder of the game? And you never know.
Work fair is a nice find for somebody at 4 in the morning. Aditya is true to form, just staying up for all the games. Yeah, what other extensions for fair are there? There's probably a bunch. All right, who wants to guess? How many words are there that are blank, 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 blank fair? Let's hear some numbers. Oh my God. The answer is 1. Work fair is the only one.
Cheekily sad.
The answer is about 1/38 of your guess, Chris. Yeah, it's just 1. Work fair is the only one. So nice job by Aditya to call that one out.
Sad.
It seemed like there would be a lot. I don't know.
It does seem like something that should have more compound words.
I thought 38 was a good guess until I checked.
Maybe after fair, because there's things like fair box.
37, not in a row. Sorry, that was a reference that Key Lime Guy and about 2 other people got. All right, what's happening here? He's playing Tisk, keeping DMRX. Jeez, this is painful. It is the best play, though. Second best would be exchanging. All right, updating that score now. It's 298, 245. So still about a 1 bingo sized lead for Marlon here. Basically, all you're trying to do if you're Marlon is just continue to score and don't unnecessarily open anything up for your opponent.
Yeah, and he's doing that with Pygmy.
Oh, very nice. Yep, that looks like a strong play, just what I was talking about. Yeah, the two best plays here are Pygmy and Piggy. They are very similar. They both score around 40, and they both keep an okay leave. So he's just going to go ahead and take the points, pick the 42-point Pygmy. And it's back to the Whips, who are starting to get whipped pretty hard here. Looks like DMR ENXR. Okay. So it's important to notice that there is an X hotspot next to Over Lush and Ween. There is a spot for Rex. You can play next there for 43. Looks like Whitley's not spotting that one. Yeah, he's going to play a lower scoring Rex. At least that undoubles your R's. It does have that benefit, but you are giving up about, 15 points. So
He's been staying in striking distance, but looks like Marlon had Sagitta lined up, so that might change the contrast of the game a bit.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah, if you are David Whitley, you hate to see it. That's pretty painful. That's going to put Marlon up by over 130. Hey, Net Donna with the raid. Thanks for joining us.
We love having the raids. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah. To everyone just arriving, you are watching the Word Cup tournament. This is a major Scrabble championship for players in North America and all over the world to compete. And you're watching round 14 out of 31. We're going to be here for about 4.5 days in total. This is a long tournament. You're watching Marlon Prudencio, one of the best players in Singapore, against David Whitley, one of the best in the U.S. Doing battle right now, and currently Marlon is getting the better of David.
Yeah, welcome to Milksea. Welcome to Net Donna. Nice to have you here.
So David is drawn. I don't think there's any bingo in that, although it does kind of look interesting. There's, ooh, yeah, he needs an A for Moonward. I just had like a spidey sense tingling that there was some kind of word with that rack, but yeah, it's only Moonward if you have an A for an 8.
Hello there. Is it Liari or Liar I-77? I always have fun trying to figure out what the intention is with the words, so I'm just guessing. I'm saying Liari, but I'm probably wrong. You were here but came with the raid too. Hey, twice. We love that. Hopefully you stay. Otherwise, we're not entertaining enough. We are trying. Net Donna says, interesting board. Yeah, if you haven't seen a tournament Scrabble board before, it might look a little bit different than you're used to seeing as far as the configuration or the look of the board aesthetically. These tend to branch out into more of what we would call a spider configuration as far as how the board looks, just because you tend to have this sort of nucleus that starts in the middle, since we start in the middle, and then just long words make it spread out in all sorts of directions. So we call that a spider configuration, as opposed to the staircase, which is something that we can sometimes see where they're all stacked on top of each other. Coming down from David Whitley's rack, we have a down, appropriately be playing downward.
Looks like a great play. You're scoring well, and you're also opening up that part of the board.
And he needs to, given he is down by a solid amount here and needs to have something magical happen to get back in this game.
Wormwood is toxic, you believe? Oh, yeah, that's... Probably don't want to go near any wormwood.
The bitter plant Artemisia absinthium, formerly used as a vermifuge. I'm assuming that's something that would be killing worms, if I'm really guessing, based on the structure of the word vermifuge.
Ooh, David Whitley has drawn a 7-letter word, I believe. I think diadrum is a word, but he's going to have to get lucky to have a place to play that. Not a great rack here for Marlon Prudencio. Whole lot of vowels. Can't really do much in the way of scoring points with a rack like that. Oh, actually, you can. There's a nice 6-letter word from that K in the bottom right corner. I'm guessing chat's going to spot that one pretty quick.
Rebecca says wormwood is what absinthe was originally made from. That's cool. And then we got a definition formally for vermifuge, medicine or substance that expels worms from animal bodies. Okay, cool. Actually, that makes sense given the word refuge. Cool. I totally get it. That makes sense. The Kelly C. Haven't played in a Scrabble tournament since Nationals in 08 when I was 16. So that's Orlando, for those of you who didn't know. That's where that happened. Awesome to see it growing here on Twitch. Love Loud Everything too. Wish other board games would adapt this commentating board display. That's awesome. Thank you for your feedback on that. We're trying to pull from some of the other Twitch broadcasts that we do see. Chess is definitely one that we borrow from heavily, given their presence that we see on Twitch and in other communities. But yeah, your feedback's always welcome. We appreciate that positive feedback. We have an awesome team producing for us that have brought lots of amazing things to us as far as our ability to provide commentary and insight. So thank you for that.
And thanks as well to the team at Scopely, who are the producers of Scrabble Go. They've given us access to the official game's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Scrabble. It's our first time broadcasting the Word Cup on the official Scrabble Twitch channel, which has been cool because I think a lot more people are finding the content that way. And so we're getting to bring some new players into our audience. And hopefully you guys are going to get hooked the same way we did when we first discovered Scrabble.
Oh, yeah. Net Donna says, be right back, getting coffee.
Enjoy your cup of joe. All right, what's going on? Chicagoland is the play from the K I was talking about, and Marlon does find it. Nicely done. That's going to give Marlon a pretty big lead here, 441 to 306. He is in total control of this game unless something really crazy happens. Looks like a fairly solid winning position. Yeah, nice job to all of y'all in the chat who are finding diadrum. The unfortunate thing for David is there is a place to play it, but just not as a bingo.
Yeah.
The highest scoring play David has is diadrum as a non-bingo through the O in and down at the bottom of the board. Droid man droid. Y'all are great.
I'm just thinking of the android from Simpsons. Again, we're just thinking about all these Simpsons things. And if you're David Whitley, you're probably thinking, worst game ever.
Nice. Just letting you know, Foundering, you got your chat auto rejected for
Yeah.
reasons.
Reasons.
We're just gonna let that one go.
We're going to call that choices, to use that from yesterday again. I still haven't explained that to you. I will have to.
We'll talk later. We'll get some bacon wrapped chicken later, and we'll talk.
Is there anyone watching today, perhaps from the raid or from someone else, who understands when I use the exact inflection of choices? If you know that little cultural reference.
We got 132 people. One of them's got to know this, right?
I feel like it. I feel like they should.
Define reasons, says Foundering.
Because reasons.
Just because reasons. You just gotta, yeah.
Johnny, oh my God, yes, I am very happy to see that.
I think that's the same Johnny who was asking if you could be more hot. So I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, we're definitely referring to,
When
Tatiana,
after you
absolutely.
Take your turn and my clock is running. You don't say anything. You don't say the score.
I believe that David was fishing for Modiolar, and I believe that he got it.
Yeah.
Very nice. So yeah, playing off OD and drawing
Oh,
OL. OL.
oh no, he is not
Oh, it's being
eulogizing.
blocked.
Yeah, the other issue is that I think he had eulogized, did he not?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's why somebody said in the chat, eulogize Jesus. I was very confused. Why were you
Yeah.
eulogizing him? But that's not what was happening.
Yeah. Henny Blanco one says, I'm going to guess the choices is from Drag Race based solely on the word and intonation. Exactly. Thank you. I said it. I kept on pointing to the inflection specifically in the pronunciation, because even if you haven't watched Drag Race religiously, and the meme, exactly. Yeah, that's a reference from rainbow culture for those of you who are not familiar.
So it turns out that Eulogize is actually not the best play. His choice of ZU is better, speaking of choices.
Interesting. All right, tell me about the choice.
Well, I mean, it's choosing between 70, burning the blank, or 47, keeping the blank. I mean, it's just math. Like the GLEU blank is more valuable. Yeah, I mean, he's also closing the board so that David can't get a bingo of his own down. He's just in total control after a play like that. He's already at a score of 488, and he still has his blank. Pretty dominant for Mr. Prudencio, up by 160 and holding the second blank.
Eulogize snapbacks are usually pretty big, says
Also
Matthew
that.
Tunnicliffe. Yeah, that's valid.
So let's see here.
Alex says, and he sets up the J. Wait, no, he doesn't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got you. He does set up the J for Jewy through the EW as a 5-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fish? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's the same meaning as Jewfish, I think.
Yeah.
But of course,
Fish.
David will take that spot. It probably will want to score in that spot as well.
I happen to know that David has been known to occasionally forget to challenge on one of the expurgated words. I happen to have, by accident, played one on him a couple weeks ago, and he by accident let me do it. So I hooked a letter onto the front of ES, not realizing that wasn't good anymore.
Oh.
Sad indeed.
Local time, Big Dig Blue has asked, what is your local time? As in, are you asking us or the chat? If you're asking the chat, cool, they can all answer. Here in Chicagoland, it is 5:45 p.m. Sam is on the East Coast. It'll be 1 hour up, 6:45 p.m. And this is our last game of the day before we come back at 9:30 a.m. local time tomorrow for another 7 games. Oh, interesting. I wonder if the bot needs to be updated for definitions.
Oh, was not aware of that.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I'm sure we can talk to Will about that.
Yeah, that's actually worth noting. I guess the bot also has to be accordingly updated.
It is worth noting, and it is notable. All right, what just got played? We got a little bit of a blurry connection here. It's kind of hard to. Looks like AM.
Yeah. Hello, Special Serial. It is nice to have you in the chat. Welcome to our broadcast of the Word Cup. Henny asks, what happened with the expurgated words? They were expurgated. They're gone. Well, at least in one half. In the other room,
basically the powers that be decided to remove some words that were deemed offensive from the dictionary. So words that we used to have available to us for play are no longer. It's only a few hundred of them. It doesn't make a huge difference to only delete a few hundred words from a dictionary that's got over 100,000. But there are a few words that don't come up the way they used to, including one that is a front hook on EW. I'll let you guess what that is. Actually, you know what? I will not let you guess what that is.
No.
Let's not do that.
Well, it's Jew. It's not an offense. Well, the words were expurgated because they were offensive. I think we should probably give that context, and so that's why they've been removed from play. Though, and that, of course, Jew has a non-offensive capitalized meaning, as we all know. But but was removed for its offensive lowercase meaning. So anyway, that's a reason for the expurgation.
Yeah, that's the short version of it, basically. Henny, I'm guessing you've been away from the scene for a while. A few things have happened in the last couple of years, and Sam essentially summarized it. But yes, once upon a time, OSPD was the separate version from TWL that had a slightly smaller list without the offensive words. But due to a sequence of events that happened in the last couple of years, that became standard for NWL and eventually CSW.
All right. Ooh, jungly. Very nice play. So Jungly for 58, using the blank for a very nice score. Define offensive. That's a very deep question. How do you define offensive?
That probably gets at Jesse's point that my version of events was shortened and not as there's a more to the story. I think it was partly covered in Sports Illustrated, so I don't know as much as probably commentators or that version.
Yeah, I figured I would go for a somewhat truncated version that was as neutral as possible. So we'll leave it at that. We'll just say a
That
series.
sounds
of
good.
events
Let's do
happened.
that. Anyway, very nice game for Marlon Prudencio. He's going to be over 500 by quite a bit. Generally brings him to 546 as we start to play out the end game here. And it looks like we're only a play or two away from being done for the day here. Best play for Whitley in this end game is Lido. Ooh, that's a nice fit. Lido through the D and a down, making some overlaps there. Lamb and size and go.
Goldie is headed to bed. Says good night. Thanks for the commentary. I wonder who the uncommentary is. Have a good rest. Sleep well.
I don't think Terry Kang is common at all. I think she's a rare gem in the Scrabble community. I say this because I'm invited to dinner with her, and I don't want to get uninvited. Like I gotta be nice.
Sleep well, Aditya. Thank you for your feedback. Much appreciated, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Looks like Durian is coming down. That place stinks. I'm just kidding. It's a fine play. But Durian
It
stinks.
reminds me, you said Marlon's Singaporean, right? That's
Yeah.
where I had my one durian, so it's appropriate play for in a game with the Singaporean. But that's
Nice.
another good pun.
All right, so not anything super interesting here for Marlon. Bunch of places to
Durians
play
are actually
T or
banned.
Oh, I think we're losing Sam. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I was just telling a story of durians being banned from the hotel in across the causeway from Singapore at the World Championships in I think 2009. So I hadn't known. I hadn't been in a hotel before where a fruit was actually banned, but once I smelled it, then I started to understand that it was, the reason.
Yeah, durian is rank, absolutely. So you do see those signs in certain places. I'm assuming you're referring to Johor Bahru, as far as where you would have seen that signage. I recall seeing it there for a smaller event that wasn't, only smaller compared to the World Championship. It was still a very large event hosted by Michael Tang. But I do remember seeing the signs when I went to that hotel in Johor Bahru. To answer Matthew Tunnicliffe's question of where is dinner, we're going to Fogo de Chao. We're going to have Brazilian barbecue. I am going to be having all sorts of red meat. I am very, very happy with that.
That's what you eat anyway. And if you're going to have red meat, you got to have it at a red meat fest kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
Durian needs to take a shower, says Henry Blanc in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy Hildebrand says meat sweats.
That is
yeah,
absolutely
that will
something that's in
probably
our future.
happen.
We'll let you know if Chris Light passes out and paramedics need to be called. I hear that once happened at a Brazilian barbecue trip.
Oof. We need a Brazilian barbecue place in Ottawa. I agree, Matthew Tunnicliffe, and I will gladly go there with you for dinner if I have a layover in Ottawa and there is one of those places. Jeremy Hildebrand says we had one in Gatineau. That's good to know. Interesting. Which part of Gatineau? Is that far away from the downtown core? Because if I can walk there, I will go.
All right, so perfect end game from both players with Marlon playing T and David Whitley playing Lore. And so they're going to play out, and that's going to give us a final score of Marlon Prudencio 560 and David Whitley 401. Oof,
That is a
very
big old game
nice
there.
win for Marlon. He just scored well every single turn throughout the game. Opening bingo of Flatted, Biotics for 85 as well. QI and Pygmy, like both in the 40s, and then just kept on bingoing more after that. Just domination from start to finish for Marlon Prudencio.
Yeah,